everyone, I'm here today with a book review for you, and I'm really hoping that this lighting is holding up. I'm losing lighting fast, really fast. Sorry if this looks really grainy. But yeah, I'm here today to review Fierce Kingdom by Phillips, and I received this book from the publisher via NetGalley in return for an honest review, and I gave it 4 stars. And this is a thriller novel about a woman who takes her son to the zoo, and then as they are leaving, they encounter a gunman at the entrance. And the mother, called Joan, sees all these bodies around and instincts kicking basically, and she just picks up her son and runs and then goes into hiding. And that's the basic idea behind this book. I can honestly say this is one of the most terrifying thrillers I have ever read in my life. And that's not because it's terrifying in maybe more sort of traditional ways, but more this focuses on such a topic that is so prevalent in today's society. It's horrendous that we are now at the point where things like terrorism and gunmen is such a regular everyday occurrence almost, and it's something that I'm sure many people are scared of all the time. Not only that, but to find yourself in the situation where your child, your 4-year-old son in this case, is at risk, it must be a terrifying read for any parents out there. So I would say if you're a parent, I'd be a little bit wary, but at the same time, I feel like this is just such a fantastic read that if you can get yourself past that, then you really should pick this up and give it a go, because it blew me away. I think that the author just did an absolutely fantastic job with the descriptions and setting the atmosphere. The atmosphere in this book, oh my goodness, I could have read this book in one sitting if I'd had the time. As it was, I stayed up till something stupid like 3:30 in the morning reading this book. I was just like, forget sleep, I need to keep reading, I need to keep reading. And then eventually I was like, no, actually I need some sleep. But if that hadn't have happened, I'd have just kept reading until 6:30 in the morning and finished it. Like, I just adored this book. And it's actually a really quick read. It probably took me about 4 hours to read. So you're just on the edge of your seat the entire time, like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? I think I'm even talking really quickly with this review because all the feelings of reading this book are just coming flushing back to me. Like, as I said, I was reading this in the early hours of the morning. I was in bed in the dark. Luke was next to me. He spoke because I was so in the position of like thinking about the situation that the characters were in. I felt like I was there. I felt like the gunman had just found me and spoke to me, and I jumped. I pooped myself. I was terrified. I can't remember the last time a book terrified me to just that extent. It's such a fantastic skill for an author to be able to do that. So you're probably wondering, if I love this book to this extent, why did I only give it 4 stars? And that is very simple. Basically, I didn't like the beginning bit. For the first maybe 10%, I wasn't convinced at all, because it was too setting the scene. And I understand that you need to set the scene, but I did not care about this child's like education or what he liked playing or didn't like playing. I felt like some of it was creating some foreshadowing for what was to come, and it all felt really unnecessary, really draggy, really info dumpy, really boring, and just a dull start to what is meant to be a thrilling novel. And so I didn't like that. I almost got tempted to skip through it because I just wanted to get to the good stuff. I also would have liked a little bit more in terms of how everything ended. I'd have liked to have known more about the total death count. You've got no idea of a real proper amount of time and period of time that this is going on. You've also got no idea of how many people have been killed. You've got no idea really of what's going on the outside world, other than little snippets as to what's cracking on the police side of things. And without that, it almost felt like everything lasted unrealistically long. I'd have also liked to have known more about the killer's motives. And yeah, I mean, other than that, that sounds like a long list now I say it, but it's not as bad as that. Also, this wasn't an issue for me, but I really did feel like there were some issues with the sort of animal cruelty in this. Because obviously, because of the subject matter, you've got a gunman and you've got a zoo setting. And while nothing is all that gory in this, you don't hear much about humans or animals in terms of like the sort of injuries that might take place. But at the same time, it is there a little bit it did bother me a teeny weeny bit, but someone who is a massive animal lover might struggle with that slightly. All the same, as I said, it's not too bad. There isn't too much blood and gore in this at all, considering the topic, and I wouldn't let that put me off too much if that's something you are worried about. So yeah, I enjoyed this book so much. This was such a random pickup for me. I was meant to be buddy reading this with E Forever Fred Weasley Died Laughing, but she picked it up to just read the first few chapters that we were meant to be doing, and she actually just got carried away and read the entire thing there and then. So yeah, that's the sort of book this is. You pick it up and you just can't put it down. And yeah, I can't stop gushing about how much I love this book. Thank you so much for watching this review. If you've read this book, please comment down below, let me know what you thought about it, because I have noticed it's a very sort of Marmite book. You either love it or you hate it, is what it seems so far. There's not really much of a middle ground. So yeah, if you've read this book, feel free to discuss it with me down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me just so if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye!